Hey, Devil Horn salute, and thanks for watching. Check this out, man. I've been doing these untold true stories, and I'm actually have some views and some interest in it. And I'm awful grateful I have a small channel and I don't have a million comments I have to go through and all that. So no, it's whoever watches, whatever. That's all. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just sharing some memories I have. I've been awful sick here lately. Sometimes I feel good and I need a little time to take my mind off of my pain and distract myself. So I'm doing this. I would write a book if I could, but that ain't gonna happen. So I'm formatting some stories into a YouTube format, try to keep your attention and all that. Now, I want to talk about some bad, piss poor leadership. Now, when it comes to Army story, everybody wants to hear about blood and gore, and you ever met a combat vet, they won't talk about blood and gore. They might tell you where they've been, what they did, but they never talk about decapitated bodies, crispy fucking critters, and shooting up somebody and watching their head explode. They won't talk about that kind of shit. Nobody wants to hear about the Cold War Army, the peacetime Army. Well, there's things that happen, and a lot of bad things fucking happen. How would you like to live in a barracks with a bunch of fucking psychotic people just as nutty as yourself? So, leadership. One of the things they did, great job they do in the Army, they will brainwash you, especially airborne. Worst thing on the planet you can be is a fucking leg. And what a leg is a non-airborne qualified person, non-airborne personnel. You're a fucking leg, and it's the lowest form of life form on the planet. You're not even a human fucking being. You're a goddamn fucking leg. The only reason why Mel ain't a leg, she's attached to me. All the rest, if you ain't got your wings, you're a nasty fuck. That's just a mentality. Sorry, guys. That's just the way it is. So they have this air assault thing, and we called it air insult. So I'm going from airborne, and all of a sudden I end up in air insult. Air this and air that, and it's like, well, I'm a paratrooper. I should be screaming airborne, not air assault. So right there, the brainwashing. And again, I'm a dumb kid. I'm coming off of drugs. I've had a concussion. I'm not all there, but I'm going through the motions, okay? So that's a disappointment right off the bat, my duty station. It ain't airborne, we're air assault. Yeah, we're attached to the 1st Aviation Brigade at Fort. We don't even have our own goddamn unit patch. We're attached to this goddamn air insult shit. So there ain't no more airborne. Now, strong leadership starts in the barracks, but it also starts from the top down. The first captain was cool, but he's leaving. We had this one, Captain Karam, I think was his name. This guy was a real badass, man. Everybody respect this guy. He finished British Commando School with a broken ankle. That's badass, okay? There was another guy that went to the British Commando School, and he had some problems. They were going to let him come back. He's like, fuck you, I'm not coming back. But no, this captain actually finished it with a broken fucking ankle. That's British Commando School. Some of these guys were overseas. They got like Canadian jump wings, German jump wings. I think in Belgium, you jump out of a fucking a balloon or something. There was like these jump wings that had a balloon or something. And these guys were respected. But now they're leaving and things are changing, and it's not gonna get any better in 1984. So Fast Eddie from West Point, this little black dude, he wants to be an airborne company commander. Well, as an officer, you need to take certain steps to get your next rank, and he's working towards his major. So now he's a company commander of an airborne thing. He come out of a Fort Riley, Kansas, a leg unit, infantry, mechanized infantry. So this guy's a fucking leg. He's a fucking leg. He is not a fucking paratrooper. It's a leg coming out of a leg unit, taking over our unit, and, so he can keep going. And right off the bat, this guy ain't showing up for the jumps. The rule was you have to jump like every 3 months to keep your active status, but the unwritten is every swinging dick on the company list, you need to show up for the jump. Fast Eddie, Captain Fast Eddie, he was never there. The enforcer told me that this guy was more scared than me. I had no choice, but the company commander, he could get out of it. He was a fucking captain from West Point. Asshole. So we lost respect right there, and things just started from the top down. Our first sergeant, everybody respected. He was in the 4th Infantry Division. in Vietnam. Everybody loved this guy. The skull was from the 173. He was a scary motherfucker. We respected the rank, but not the man. You respect the rank, but not the man. And that was that. There was just never no strong leadership, okay? And there was, besides the first sergeant in the headquarters, there was no one to look up to. We had some swinging dicks from, inside our barracks. There was one cool sergeant. My friend from Pennsylvania, they worked in the office in there, but that was it. My first sergeant was and the first sergeant, well, he was an office jockey. He's a desk jockey. You really never saw the guy. He wasn't out on maneuvers. He was a first sergeant doing first sergeant things. They got a different job title thing, and that's what happens. So now let's get into the barracks. Well, I got one story with Fast Eddie, though. I was on profile and having some health issues, couldn't breathe and all this other shit. And this is in the summertime. And I think it was just right after I got back from leave. And we were at the officers club, and there was a lot of civilians around. And we're marching off, and we go, here it goes again, the same old shit again, humping down the avenue. And at the end of the day, we'll be through it. And oh, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker had a fit. Had the whole company out, and he is dogging every swinging dick. Who did this? Who sung the song? A few people stood up. I sung the song. I stayed down. Yeah, hell yeah, I was singing the song. So I'm sitting there, I'm huffing and puffing, and he goes, I'm sick of your fucking shit, Private. And when he told me that, I swear to God, I wanted to jump up and break fucking ranks and say, fuck you, asshole, I'm done with this fucking shit. Fuck you. You want to just put your finger in his face. You just want to say, break ranks and say, fuck you, but you don't. That's some discipline there. We're done, Fast Eddie. When I got busted, I was a pain in this guy's ass. I drove him fucking crazy. So anyway, all our good sergeants are leaving. The sergeant that was in charge of our platoon, of our squad, he was gone. He'd done his time. He was in E6. He was up for re-enlistment, and after 200 jumps, he was pigeon-toed. He's gone. So Mad Mac, he'd been in for a while. He'd been down in Panama. He was a jungle expert. He was airborne ranger, I think a PAF, all this shit. He had everything you could want as an infantryman. He was a sergeant, and somehow he got disillusioned. God, this guy was crazy. He was a good guy. He was the only fucking sergeant the whole time that spent any time with me. Yeah, we looked up to this crazy motherfucker. He took me, just me, one day. Me and him went out to an oyster bar, and I'd never been to an oyster bar. And we sat down, and you get a long neck bud and get these oysters. You dump it on a cracker and throw some sauce on it and that shit. And God, that was fun. No, that's the only sergeant that ever had anything to do with me. Spend any time, try to be a mentor. These others, they thought they were mentors, but they were mostly jerks. Like this one guy, where's your, when you're new and you got to get your shit on, where are your jump wings? You're not proud to wear it. You're hanging around Blakely, that's going to bring you down. You got a choice, Private. You can either get your shit together or keep hanging around Blakely. I'm like, me and Blakely are getting ready to go get high. Go fuck yourself, dude. Yeah, Sergeant Brown, we always keep mentioning this dirtbag piece of shit. Airborne Ranger, yeah, he never nothing good to say. He's the guy who yells at me when I'm hurt on the drop zone. He yells at me over some dirty boots. He's the guy that yells at the whole platoon after we have a monster party. And this is the same asshole that used to brag about hanging people upside down windows at the Ranger Battalion. Yeah, it's funny. When I was at jump school, those airborne Rangers, were some of the coolest motherfuckers you could ever met. But when I got to my unit, we got Sergeant Cannon. He comes up, and we was out in the field, and we made a goof. When we heard shooting, we would run to the shooting. We weren't the type of people to run away. We run towards shooting. So we run towards the shooting because what we were supposed to do wasn't happening. We didn't know what was going on, and we missed our assignment. We were supposed to wait, get shot up, played dead, and, we heard shooting, moved on. So the sergeant's jumping me, and all I said was, okay, I'm sorry, it was just communication. And so the sergeant jumps me, he goes, that's insubordination. And I go, no. I snap back. I'm already in trouble. I go, no. It was just a miscommunication. Let me check my time real quick here. I'm doing good. I got a few minutes left. See, we're supposed to have an E6 over our whole goddamn second platoon. And we had this guy from Kansas, I think Springman was his name, I'm not sure. And remember the battalion death march, our little death march. It was a 20-mile march, and everybody got strung out. I was his radio operator. And this guy left me out in the dirt, and I ended up with heat cramps for the first time. And he's supposed to be in charge of all this, supposed to be the motivator, and there's nothing going on. My PFC was supposed to show up on my payroll, and you would think after a while somebody would say, well, dude, how come you haven't got your PFC yet? I don't know. Could somebody check into it? No. I found my name on a Spec 4 list, and that's a whole nother story later. So they give you a sergeant in charge of your room. Okay, he's in charge of the 3 privates in the room, and this guy is Ramirez. He's a Mexican, and we did what he told, but we didn't have no respect for him. He was not a leader. There's no strong leadership. When there's no strong leadership, there's no one to look up to. And when you got a bunch of people who think they're mentors, but all they do is say bad shit and fuck with you, and then you got another tier level of people on power trips that are fucking absolute goddamn fucking assholes. People you wouldn't even want to smoke a joint with or even have a fucking beer with. And these guys never hung with anybody. The party people hung together. These assholes did whatever. But there was no definitive leadership. And towards the end, everything was so fucking undisciplined. I would say from August 84 to December, it was very undisciplined. Very, very undisciplined. There was no order. It was like the Wild Wild West in the barracks. This guy got beat up. We're using drugs. Everything's going crazy. And then finally in 1985, the shit stops. Guys are coming in. They're getting drug tested. And they bring in this leg sergeant from Germany. And I shit you not, this guy's name's Majors. There's a rank called Sergeant Major. Well, his name was Sergeant Majors. And he's going to take over the 2nd platoon. And I thought, oh, Jesus, fuck me, God, I don't like this guy already. I am so fucking glad I am out of here. Like I've always said, if you can't run, you're done. For some reason, they don't help you advance in that. Maybe I should have put in for a transfer. I wanted to go get as close to home as I could because Jody stole my girlfriend. And all I could ever think about was just getting home back to my girlfriend. I missed her and I wanted her. I didn't realize she was gone, and after I got out that April, I watched her get married, and that's a whole nother story, but there's no leadership. Besides Mac, I had no one to look up to. There was no mentors. There was no one that would go out of their fucking way to show you something. And you're basically left hanging, and then, like I say, when the company commander won't even show up to jump, and then he's sitting there dogging the fuck out of you, it's hard to respect a man like that. When there's no sergeants to check up, why ain't you getting your rank? I don't fucking know. It's supposed to show up, but I don't. I asked for schools. I asked to go to air assault school, which we had right there on post. No, you don't make the runs. I found after I got kicked out, I had orders for Pathfinder school. Yeah, I did. It was right there, Pathfinder, and I never got it. So strong leadership. Hey, Army, you're having problems recruiting today? Do you have strong leadership? Do you have people that you look up to? I think everybody looks up to their drill sergeants. I look up to my assistant drill sergeant because he made a big impression on me. I was his fucking bitch for fucking 8 weeks. Yeah, he's left an impression. Yeah, strong leadership or lack of leadership. You can't train this shit into people. Either you have it or don't. So it's one of the memories. Appreciate this. I think it's going to be number 8 now or whatever. So horn salute. Thanks. Hit that like and subscribe, guys. Appreciate the views.